Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner.
I'm Elsie Johnson.
And we are two sisters, Southern Cooking.
We're making a caramel chocolate poke cake today. The strawberry one was so good last week that we were talking and we decided we wanted to try it again. So we have a chocolate cake mix to start with, and water and oil and eggs per your cake directions. So simple enough. And then we'll do the topping that you poke holes in the cake with. It'll be sweet. Now we're making the cake. So I'm going to add in my eggs. I already put in the oil and the water. And we are going to mix that up good. And then I'll pour it into my cake pan, which is already greased and floured. I'm going to mix for about a minute or two until it's totally mixed together. Check it and make sure that it's straight down the sides and there's nothing stuck on the bottom. Okay. Alright, I'm going to mix it one more time just to make sure that if there was anything that I just scraped up, that it's mixed in. Okay. I'm going to clean the paddle off. Take the paddle off. I'm gonna move my mixer out of the way. Bring my pan over. And I'm going to scrape this into the pan. This will bake at 350 degrees. I believe this will bake for 27 to 33 minutes, I believe. Bake according to your box mix directions for a 9x13. I will verify the box before I put it in the oven. Okay, spread this out. This will, once you poke the holes in it and you put your topping on, it will have to sit in your refrigerator. After it's cooled down, it will have to sit in there for up to 4 hours.
Hey guys, so we are doing a chocolate caramel poke cake because Ben requested it. God help us. He's on a diet and he's gonna eat cake. So. But he has lost 7 pounds, so I'll give him that. So we are making our own homemade fudge, and the reason for that is we wanted to be able to take less of the commercialized pre-packaged taste out of the mixture. So we're going to go ahead and put in 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk into a pan that has medium-low heat, and we're going to stir in our chocolate chips. So you can use the semi-sweet. We used milk chocolate because that's what we had on hand. I prefer milk chocolate. It's sweeter. So.
Yeah, it's better. Most everybody around here, I mean, I have made sweet, semi-sweet chocolate chips for other things, but most of us around here like the milk chocolate.
I love sweetened condensed milk. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's good.
I know it sounds gross, but I could sit there and just like
Drink it.
lick it and eat it out of the can. Sorry, I know that sounds gross.
I had seen something where someone, and it's an old fashioned, and I don't know if it's something that was popular back in the day, but there was a gentleman I had seen in one of the older groups on Facebook, you know, like things from old time, that the gentleman would take sweetened condensed milk and he'd put sugar or something in it and some butter maybe or something, and then he would sop his biscuits in it. And that was his sweet dessert for after dinner.
Oh wow, I bet that is good.
Yeah.
We're gonna do buttermilk biscuits too tonight too, but you guys have seen us do them tons of times, so you don't need to see that recipe, but yeah, that would be good. You know what's crazy is you can make your own condensed milk. I have, because like a couple weeks ago when I was baking something for somebody, I didn't have any sweetened condensed milk for one of the recipes, and
How do you do that? I've never done that.
You put it's a long, tedious.
I bet.
It lasts like 30-45 minutes. You got to do it. So what you do is you take like heavy cream, sugar, vanilla, and you stir it constantly so it doesn't burn.
Until it thickens up.
Until it thickens.
Becomes sweet.
And I actually made a container about this big of it.
Like
and I
a
haven't
pint size or whatever.
Actually, it was probably close to a quart. I made it and put it in the refrigerator, so I'm hoping that it's still good. But hey guys, it's Debbie. So we are back, and I had to fix the GoPro because it wanted to act up a little bit. So we got it fixed. We're good. And now my fudge is melted. So you want to make sure you either take this off the heat or you continue to stir it while it's on the heat, because you do not want it to burn because it will scorch. And it looks just gorgeous. I'll show it to you. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off the heat right now. And we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of softened butter and just stir it around. And we're going to put it into a jar and let it sit in the jar until we get ready to put it on our poke cake. And we're also going to use this same topping for our cheesecake as well, because we're going to have cheesecake with the fudge and the caramel. And then we have the Oreo crust. Guys, it is time to spoil ourselves because we have been working so hard, and this is going to be so delicious. So in the poke cake, Elsie is actually going to take some of those Oreos that she showed you guys earlier, and we're going to crumble some up, put it on the top of the whipped topping, which I'm going to have to make because we didn't buy any Cool Whip. So that's easy to do though. You just take some heavy cream, confectioner's sugar, and vanilla, and you have your whipped topping. So it takes 5 minutes. It doesn't take long. Look at that. That is just beautiful. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and let this cool down. And then once we're ready to pour it on the cake, we'll be back with that. And we'll also be putting it on our cheesecake too as well. We'll see you soon.
Hey y'all, I'm making caramel sauce. We're going to use some of it on our chocolate caramel poke cake, and we're also using some of the caramel sauce on our cheesecake that we're making. So I'm making enough to do both. So I got my burner on, and I am going to put my heavy cream in here, and my brown sugar and salt. And we're going to stir this until it thickens up, and then we'll add our vanilla, and then we'll cook it for a minute more, and then take it off the heat.
Yummy. Nothing like good caramel sauce. You can buy this stuff in the store if you want to use on top of your poke cake and on top of your cheesecake or whatever.
It's just ice cream caramel sauce that you use like when you're putting on top of desserts and stuff.
But if we can make it from scratch, so we take out that like chemical
preservatives,
taste. Yeah.
and stuff.
We try to do that because it tastes so much better when it's homemade.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't take much longer than these take like 5-10 minutes. The fudge took us
Right.
about 10 minutes total.
Right.
It doesn't take long. It's probably stuff that you have in your pantry already, so you know.
Yeah, I'm assuming most everybody should have brown sugar. That would be the only thing that be iffy if someone else. Around here, yes, we always have brown sugar. We have confectioner sugar all the time too.
Yeah. We go through like bags of flour and sugar, confectionery sugar, brown sugar all the time. I mean, I probably go through I think it's 4 5-pound bags of flour myself in a month.
And I do about the same with flour, but I go through a lot more sugar only because I make bread and butter pickles too.
And she cans a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, so that causes her to have. So I just went to Walmart yesterday and picked her up a 25-pound bag of sugar.
Yeah. So I probably go through 50 to 75 pounds of sugar a month.
Wow.
Easily.
That's crazy. So today we're going to be drawing our name for our winner for the month. It's Elsie and Roger's anniversary this month. They'll be married how long? 32 years?
32 years.
Oh my God.
I know, I was talking to Mom about this yesterday, actually. Roger and I actually been together 36 years now. I think February, March will be 36 years.
Good Lord.
And when our daddy died, they were just shy of 40 years of being married. So honestly, I'm right knocking on the door of being together with Roger as long as they were married almost. Mm-hmm. Like lacking 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I should be that far along in a relationship, but it's just pretty amazing to me to think that I'm almost where they were when he passed away.
We've known Roger and Robbie since they were how old?
11, 10, somewhere
A lot
around
younger than that.
Maybe younger than that.
A lot younger than that. And I tell you why, because our Aunt Flora had a laundromat and they used to walk across the busy 25th Street to do their laundry in a red,
With a red wagon.
yeah, they had a red wagon. They pulled the clothes over.
With their bicycle. Yeah.
I was not even tall enough to fit stuff into the washing machine. So Roger, when he would come over, I remember this, our Aunt Flora would help him put his clothes into the washing machines and put the money into the machines because he couldn't reach it, he wasn't tall enough. So if that tells you how long we've known them.
Yeah.
So.
And back then, that was about 4 or 5 years before we even started dating.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point in time in our life, we didn't even know that we were gonna eventually get together.
Honestly, I think I was probably about maybe 4 or 5 when I met them. So they were, Roger was probably about 8 or 9.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, about 8 or 9. So I remember them coming across, and Robbie's younger than me.
Right.
And him and Roger would come across the street, that busy 25th Street, if you know where it's at in Sanford.
Where Bags
Yes.
Market is there.
Yeah, 25th Street and Sanford Avenue. And they walk across the street with their little wagon.
But back then, I mean, it was busy, but it is nothing like it is now. Mm-hmm. But back then, the world was safer, and you could reasonably let your kids go out of your house and go. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that far from their home, honestly. It was less than walking. You could probably do it in like less than 5 minutes. But back then, it was safe for kids to do that, to go that far away from your house and, mm-hmm. and be in a city dwelling area. You know, it was definitely different back then.
Right.
But okay, add in the butter. It should be warm enough now for that to start melting. But yeah, that's how long we've known them. And just time just goes.
It does.
It really does.
In our minds, we're still thinking we're
I do all the time. I mean, but then my body turns around and tells me, no, you're not. My body says, you're this old.
Well, we're not going to talk about age.
No.
I just turned 50, and Elsie is
52? 53?
You will be 53 this
I was born
year.
in 68.
So
yeah, I'll be
you'll
53.
So she's 2 years older than me. So it's kind of funny. You stay and remain friends with the people that you grew up with and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now we remain friends with a lot of people from Osteen, like
Which is where we grew up.
Kim, Scott, and
Deanna
Davis, and
Sheila Davis.
Sheila Davis. They're not sisters, by the way.
And
We
Joe Darling.
Joe Darling. And all these people that we still remain friends. And of course with our cousins.
some of the older people that we looked up to as young children, we're still friends with, where we associate with them on Facebook, and we still respect them. We still call them Mrs. whatever their last name is. We don't call them by their first name, like Mrs. Pickles or Mrs. Martin.
Or Mrs. Brooks.
Or Mrs. Brooks.
Yeah, Nancy Brooks.
We call them by their, we're respectful in that way. But we're good friends with them, you know. So, we grew up in a little town that was, everybody knew everybody. That's not the same now. There's a lot of new people out there now, and the place is growing up. But everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody's business.
They did.
You knew if someone was sick. You knew if somebody was
died.
in the hospital. You knew, you know. And honestly, that was a good way to live.
Mm-hmm. I remember our P.O. box. 137. Yeah. That's how long we had lived in that town, because, I mean, it's such a low number.
Right.
That's just...
And we didn't get mail at our house. We got it at the post office box.
Yes, because it was rural.
Right, but now I do believe they have remote boxes, where, like, group boxes where, like at the end of the road, wherever you are now.
Really?
Yeah, I think they have them there.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, we always had to go to the post office to get our mail.
Yes. Our mom worked at the post office as well.
Yeah, she was a cleaning lady there.
Yeah, she did the cleaning, and sometimes she put up the mail, and depending on what they needed for the day, she did it all.
Back then it was Mrs. Bessie Osteen that was the postmaster, and then what was the lady after her? There was another that was there towards the end when we were there.
Oh God. Her name Jerry? I don't know.
I don't know. Someone that is from Osteen probably can tell us if you're watching. If you see this video, you could probably tell us. I can't remember.
Mom would know.
Yeah, Mom would know.
Because she was pretty close to her. Yeah.
Mrs. Osteen actually retired as postmaster. She had been postmaster for, goodness, 40 years or more.
Yeah. And the town was named Osteen, so it was named after her family.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of funny. Yeah, and there's still a group of them that live there. I think Miss Osteen has passed on.
She has. Yeah, she has.
Because they were like born in the early 1900s.
Well, she was very close. She was not much farther behind our grandpa in age.
Mm-hmm.
She was a little younger than him, probably. But can you imagine if Grandpa was alive right now? He would be 121 this year.
Oh.
It just doesn't.
We don't want to even
boggle
think about
mine. Yeah, for real.
Your body wears out. It's ready. It's time to go.
I got a news alert yesterday from I think it was Channel 9 in Florida, where we lived down there. And they said the last known living woman that was married to a Civil War veteran died yesterday. She was 101. I did not even know that anybody connected to the Civil War was still alive. Isn't that something?
So he must have been. He
was older. He had to be older than her.
Right, a lot older. Because if she was 101, that means that
it was 1860s, wasn't it, when the Civil War happened?
Yes.
So he was probably 20 years older than her, maybe?
Maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that. Because back then...
Because if she's 101, she was born in she would have been born in 1920 or 1919.
Right.
That would have been...
I've been 20...
60, 50 years?
I don't know how. Yeah, he had to have married her very young.
She must have been a child.
Child bride.
Yeah.
They did that a lot, though, in the old days.
So, yeah, that's kind of odd. So, wow. So he would have been really... Well, if he was in his teens and in 1860s, He would have been about
1840s. He would have probably been born.
So he would have been probably in his 70s or 80s when he married her.
Okay, this is now coming to a boil, so this is gonna thicken up really fast now. So we're gonna watch this really closely.
This will actually turn a darker color, almost like a dark caramel. So we're gonna continue to stir it and let it boil until it gets darker.
I think we're done now with the caramel.
Yeah. We're gonna let it cool down
And then we'll put it in this.
so it'll thicken up.
Yeah, this jar.
There we go. And this is going to go on our caramel poke cake and also on top of our cheesecake. We'll see you guys when we come back.
Hey y'all, I am doing the next step on our caramel chocolate poke cake. I have my caramel sauce and the sweetened condensed milk, and I'm going to pour it over. Then this will go in the refrigerator for 4 hours. Then we will drizzle the rest of the caramel and the chocolate fudge over the top of it. So this is going to be really, really super moist with this soaking in. So let me just make sure this is all spread really well.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen right now. I got Mima in there. She's crushing up the
candy.
cookies. And Taylor just crushed up the candy, so yes.
And now they're crushing up the cookies we're going to put on top here. Okay, we didn't have to use all this, so I'll put, actually let me put that in the kitchen real quick.
All right, so you want to pour over the fudge and okay, so remember the fudge we made earlier? Well, this is what it looks like. This is what's going to go on top of our, I'll let you do that. I want to get these prepared.
All right, I'm going to drizzle. It's pretty thick, so I'm just going to drizzle across the top here. This would be good on ice cream. Yeah, it's pretty thick, so it would be really good. Your one timer solved.
Okay, thank you, Mom. Thanks, Alexa's a person.
Okay, this is more thin, so I'm gonna take this caramel and I'm just gonna pour some of it over.
We're gonna save some of this for our cake also, our cheesecake.
Right. A little bit.
So we're actually putting crushed Snicker bars on the top.
And Oreos.
And then we're going to do the crushed Oreos too. Hey Taylor, when you're done, can you bring it in here, please?
Okay.
Thank you. And we're just gonna go ahead and brush these up. Thank you, Taylor. This is gonna be decadent.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I can't wait to try it. If you want, you can put some of these crushed cookies on top of the cheesecake as well, since we have both toppings on this one.
That's for real. It's gonna be yummy. All right. This is gonna be yummy, yummy for the tummy.
Okay.
Alrighty, we're gonna put it back in the refrigerator until we get ready to serve so it doesn't melt, because that is fresh whipped topping and I don't want it to start melting, so. Alright guys, we're gonna put the rest of these on our cheesecake and the rest of the cookies on our cheesecake, so we will see you in our next video.
All right.
And I'm Debbie,
We're two sisters Southern cooking.
and we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.